So, Ecchi Expo has officially finished not that long ago. Well, a few days. Never mind that. Well, if you hear the sound of crying, it's basically my wallet and hard drive. Sorry guys, there's so many games out there. But I'm surprised to see that the big dogs are coming, but I really shouldn't have been realistically. Maybe it's just to signal boost the event or whatever. But the hosts are returning. Our hi guy, it's always been nice to see him. He was always the guy who I always kind of picture as a bit of the face of the series, as long as the DL site manager. But filling in for Kaho Shibuya, we have two lovely ladies named June Lovejoy and Hari Ann. They both did a surprisingly good job. I didn't mind seeing them, and I didn't mind the banter between them whenever they did. But enough talk, let's talk about the list of games that piqued my interest. So the first game I had, because keep in mind I was only there for a limited amount of time because I had sleep, was a game called Kaijun's Lucid Room. Now, which essentially is kind of like a sandbox version of the game Shred and Tear. So if those of you who don't want Shred and Tear, it's art style, but you don't want any of the actual game part. Next up, we had PMC Monster Girls Proximity. It is the first of many of the games that I would like to call Monster Girl Paradise. So, Magical Girls Academy, which has been in my radar for me to review, believe it or not. Monsumu Curse, which, fun fact, I canceled a review of this game. I figured the game didn't really have enough meat on its bones for me to even consider any kind of a proper review. So that's the reason why I canceled it. And Monsumu Paradise, which, by the way, the game looks like it could be fun to play as well. Now, for games like Holy Knight Rika, which surprised me for you to be here, it has DLC announced, which is nice. It's an excellent game. Next is a game called Junk Hero. It looks like some kind of an open world game where you run a tavern and go on wild adventures with your ladies. And the last one that piqued my interest was a game called Shimmering Horizon, which looks like a fairly fun dungeon crawler. Now for the big dogs. Now specifically by I mean big dogs, I mean those who are in our Western lead gaming scene, such as the likes of Studio Foe with Subverse and Anduo Games with the likes of Third Crisis, and surprisingly Tiny Hat. Believe it or not, one of the games that are being published by Tiny Hat is actually following me on Twitter, officially known as X. The game is called Peach Hills Division if you want to know. But I feel like the biggest reveal for me at least, the most meaningful, was actually Hentai Writer's new project after Future Fragments. Because, let's be honest here, Hentai Writer is kind of like the biggest dog in our entire lewd gaming scene, whether we want to admit it or not. And don't worry, I'm saving all the glazing for the Future Fragments review, so do not fret. I will be doing a proper glazing of this man here. But most of the games that have been shown are mainly visual novels or simulator type games. So like, for example, like essentially kind of like Koi Katsu Party clones, if that makes sense. And yeah, but thankfully the gameplay games were able to balance it out and all that fun stuff. Hopefully next year I will hopefully see a game called Moho Arms. If those of you who have seen my review, you would have known I really love this game, and it honestly should deserve a spot within next year's or any of the year's Hentai Expo. Or Thorson, which is actually a roguelike that I actually enjoyed, and hopefully they'll bring like other people in aside from like actual like hentai game artists. Like originally, I don't know if I'm supposed to even talk about this, but originally there were supposed to be like other people like hentai artists and reviewers and all that stuff, but they didn't really have that kind of resources at the time. Hopefully they'll do that as well. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Overall, I give the event an overall a B, so above average. So until then, everyone, good night and good luck. I hope that next year is going to be even better. Hell, there even might hopefully be a physical place we might go to. So until then, everyone, good night and good luck. And if you're wondering what my next project is going to be, it's going to be another discussion piece.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it with your friends, subscribe, and hit the bell for both uploads and community posts. Also be sure to follow Overlord on X and Pixiv.